What do you do if your oven is broken or you simply need more oven space when cooking for a crowd? Well, the answer might be one of these, an electric roaster oven. If you have one of these, it might make a cameo appearance during the holidays, only to be quickly forgotten about until the next year. But an electric roaster oven can be far more than a mere extra among your culinary cast members. Though these are amazingly simple to use, they can play the role of supporting actor or even star of the show. Today we're going to be cooking with one of these, and I'll explain the pros and cons of doing so. So let's get roasting. Hello and welcome to I Want to Cook. My name is Chef Matt and this channel is all about helping you be a better cook. And today we're going to be cooking with one of these, an electric roaster oven. Now, if you are a regular viewer, thank you. You might remember that a couple weeks ago I made an entire video on how my main oven died after using the self-clean feature, and I'll put a link to that cautionary tale in the description below. Now, in that video I noted that I was going to be getting something that was kind of going to be a stand-in while I save for a new oven and, well, ultimately an entire kitchen remodel. Well, this actually isn't it. That stand-in did arrive this week, and I'll show you what it is at the end of this video. But this kind of came into my home by happenstance, call it a lucky coincidence, when I was thrifting and I saw this thing. Now, it was only $20, and I've always been curious about these. I'd never used one, and I wondered, could they really roast? Could they bake? Could they do all the things that they say they're going to do? And I'm really happy that I bought it because I've been using it almost non-stop. The timing was also really good to find this thing because I'm shooting this video just before Thanksgiving, and well, these are always advertised as being able to roast that Thanksgiving turkey, and that is something that I did in one of these, and I'll show you how it turned out. But like I say, they can do a lot more, but they can't do everything to replace an oven or even a toaster oven. So today I'm going to share the pros and cons of using one of these to help you decide if, well, one of these deserves a place in your kitchen. So perhaps the best thing about these is that they are really inexpensive. And now this particular model, the one that I got secondhand, this was made by GE. And like I said, it only cost me $20 at the thrift store. Now, I don't think GE still makes these, but a lot of other brands do. And you can find them for anywhere from about $50 to $100. That's about the price of a toaster oven, and it's certainly a lot less than a main oven. And like I say, even though GE may not make these, you can find these just about everywhere online or at the thrift store. In fact, I see these often when thrifting, and they're usually only about $20 to $25. That's a real value. Another great thing about these is they are so simple to use. In a world where it seems every new appliance is connected to the internet or has its own app, these are refreshingly simple. I mean, there's only basically one control, a dial that turns it on and, well, you select the heat. This one has a little light that indicates that it's preheating, and some of these don't even have that. They've just got this one control that, well, turns it on and adjusts the temperature. These are also super simple in their design. I mean, there's just a few parts. So you've got a lid, of course, that comes right off. And then inside you have, well, you have a trivet, and these are included to help kind of put your roast on top of and lift it out. And then finally, well, there is the main cooking tray that you put everything in. Now, this is the part that you don't want to put food in. This is where the heating element lies. But all you do is you just put the main container in, you put your trivet if you're going to use it, put the lid on, and, well, cook. Now, I should note that this model has one high-tech feature. Get a load of this. You can take the lid off and, well, there's a little lid rest right there. Pretty cool. Another neat thing about these is that they heat quite fast. In fact, I think they might just heat faster than a standard oven, certainly my old one. These only take about 10 or 15 minutes to get up to temperature, depending on what that temperature is, of course, and they also tend to use less energy than a full-size oven. Again, remember, these are just a 120-volt unit, not like a 240-volt electric oven that can take a lot of energy. So these can be more efficient in that way too. Another benefit is that these are sizable. They can cook a lot of food. Now, this particular unit, this says it can roast up to a 17-pound turkey, and that's, well, exactly the weight of the turkey I bought to roast this thing in it, but there's even bigger ones. Some can go up to 20 pounds or even 24 pounds if you want a really big roast. Another great thing about these is that for as big as they are, well, they're portable and they're also quite light. And you can thank the materials that they're made of for that. The lid, well, this is super light. I'm guessing this might be like an aluminum lid or something that is very light. And, well, this entire tray that comes out, this is made of enameled steel, which is very, very light. So that means that because it is so light and so portable, you can use one of these in a variety of locations. So you could use one of these to keep food warm on a buffet table, or if you're like me and you like to cook outdoors here in California, well, you can move the whole thing outside and roast what you want, and that way the smells aren't going into the house. I do that quite often anyway. And if you are, let's say, a van lifer or you live on a boat, this could be a perfect solution for an oven because, well, it's light and very movable and it doesn't take up that much energy. You certainly couldn't say that about an oven that's attached to a range or in a wall. You just can't move one of those and they can be quite energy inefficient. Another neat thing about these is, well, they can do more than just roast. That was something I've learned in using this, and it was a pleasant surprise. So yes, beyond roasting meat, roasting poultry, well, these can also bake. I was able to bake some delicious cornbread in these. I was also able to roast some vegetables, but they can do more than that. They can proof dough. They can reheat food if you're serving it, let's say, again, on a buffet table or just need to reheat a big pot of chili. And yes, they can also work for liquid foods, not just dry foods. You can cook soups and stews in one of these as well. That's super convenient. And finally, these are really easy to clean. Because the whole roasting pan lifts out, you can just put it in the sink and clean it. And enameled steel is actually really easy to clean. It just takes some soap, a scrubber, and, some elbow grease. You won't have to worry about a self-cleaning disaster like I did with my main oven, but you will be, well, self-cleaning this one as in cleaning it yourself. Now, for all the things that one of these can do, they certainly have their limits, and you should know that going in. And the first one is, well, it basically only has one function. It heats. So unlike an oven or even a toaster oven, there's no broiler feature, there's no special settings to like heat a pizza or anything. It just heats, and it just heats from the bottom. So again, you're not going to be broiling using this because, well, there is no top element. There's only a bottom element. And because of that fact, that also means it's going to be harder to get that luscious, crispy skin that a lot of folks like on their turkey or their chicken. Because there is just a limited amount of room in here and you have this top on and no broiler, you're not going to get that crispy skin. What you will get is condensation, like a self-basting situation. And that will make some lusciously moist meat, and it turns out very tasty. But again, if you're a fan of that crispy skin, you're probably not going to get it in one of these. Although I suppose You could use one of these to cook, say, your turkey or your chicken and, well, maybe crisp your skin with another method. Another thing to know about these is they're not really well insulated, nor is there a see-through lid or see-through door as there is in an oven or even a toaster oven. So that means it can be a little bit harder to check the progress of your food. To do so, you're gonna probably have to lift the lid, and then, well, that's going to allow a lot of heat to escape. Another important thing to know about these is that this roasting pan, that whatever your roasting sits in, these aren't really meant for the stove top. So unlike a traditional roasting pan or even a large skillet, well, you can't brown your meat in it before you cook or even make like a pan sauce or gravy when everything is done. This is very lightweight, and although it's quite durable, this is not meant to sit on top of a range top. Now, that's not really a big deal because, well, you're probably going to, let's say, if you're roasting a turkey and you want gravy, you're probably going to want to separate all that juice in a fat separator anyways, but it's just good to know that, well, this thing, don't use it on the stove top. And finally, in the cons column for these, well, there's just no doubt that they do take up space. So yeah, they're light, they're portable, but well, it's a big unit. So if you are really short on kitchen space or home space for that matter, you may not have room for one of these things, as convenient as it might be, because, well, it is a big appliance. So is one of these worth it, and does one belong in your kitchen? Well, my takeaway is if you have the space and desire for one, yeah, I think they do. I've been very, very pleasantly surprised at just how well this cooks, especially a turkey. I was just kind of amazed at how easy it was to cook a turkey in one of these things, even though I had my doubts. All I really did was, well, I seasoned my turkey, I oiled it up, I put it in the preheated oven, and then I just looked up the time chart for cooking. I found an old manual for one of these online, and well, it was pretty much spot on. I tested the turkey with a meat thermometer to make sure everything was cooked through, and it certainly was. We got a beautiful turkey out of it with lots of tender meat and a lot of juices as well to make gravy. Now, interestingly, I found that this actually did better in cooking a bigger bird. With a chicken, it certainly cooked a whole chicken just fine, but it just wasn't quite as tasty in my, well, taste buds. I think just the fact that a turkey takes longer and you have more of that basting than a smaller and lighter chicken, well, that just actually worked in the benefit of this thing. I also really liked that I could just lift the turkey right out of this unit using the trivet instead of bending over a stove and, having to lift out a 20-pound turkey. I mean, how many back spasms and injuries has that caused on a Thanksgiving day? So if you can find a good deal on one of these, or like me, maybe pick one up at the thrift store for $20 or $25, I say go for it. I think these could be a real asset in your kitchen. But I don't know, you tell me in the comments below. Do you use one of these things? Have you ever used one of these things? What did you think of it? Be sure to let us all know in the comments below. Oh, now let me show you, well, the oven that is going to be a stand-in, well, for my main oven. It's not quite this, but it's this. Get a load of this. This is a Wolf, well, a Wolf toaster oven. So yeah, I kind of finally got my Wolf. I ultimately want a Wolf range, but this is going to suffice in the meantime. This thing just arrived a few days ago. I actually haven't even set it up and used it yet, but very much looking forward to using this. This is quite a large oven, this countertop oven, again, made by Wolf. I bought this thing, I guess it was last week, and it's going to take up residence where that little toaster oven is. So I'll probably make a whole video on this at some point, kind of give you my impressions, but this is what we're going to be doing a lot of cooking in coming up. Okay, trivia time. Last week I asked you to identify this strange looking fruit and several of you got it correct. It is indeed a papaya, specifically a Maridol papaya, a very big and long one. And boy, you cut these up, they not only look delicious, but they taste delicious as well. Congratulations to everybody who got the answer correct. For this week's culinary trivia, we are actually going with a term. And the term, well, it's a French term. I wonder if you know it, but translated, it roughly means everything in its place. It is a very important concept in cooking. I'm sure several of you know it. If you have the correct answer or you have a guess, put it in the comments below, and I will, of course, let you know what the term is, a French term, in next week's episode. As always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Until next time, I hope you want to cook.